Kawasaki Brezza, the Citybird SUV.
Rajasthan have 3 wins in 3. Bengaluru have 3 losses out of 4. Will the fortunes change for the Royals as they collide in Jaipur? Match number 19 is RR versus RCB on Maruti Suzuki Arena. Presents ESPN Cricket 4 Timeout. We're joined by Mitchell McLennigan and Wasim Jafar to preview that game. Gentlemen, thank you for your time. RCB, the big talking point already is how the overseas batters are just not firing. Wasim, when you stack the overseas batters, and that too of that profile, you need them to deliver, and 4 games in, between Faf du Plessis, Glenn Maxwell and Cameron Green, the runs just aren't coming. How does that change?
Well, I don't know how does that change, but that's a problem to start with. I think the positions that they are playing, Faf obviously is going to open, but I think Cam Green has to bat at 3. I mean, he's been shuffled around. He's been sent at 3, he's been sent at 4 and 5. So I think they need to settle down with his number. I think number 3 is his spot, and they need to stick with him because they bought him for a big money. And he's done well last season, not just for the money's sake, but he's a good player. They need to stick with him at the right number. And obviously Maxi as well. He's a big player and he hasn't fired. He has a very ordinary tournament so far. So those big boys need to come to the party if RCB need to do well in the tournament, and their batting has to click. Their bowling is very below par, so their batting has to click for them to win games.
But just on Cam Green batting at number 3, what does that mean for Rajat Patidar, who has looked quite out of sorts when he bats out of position lower down the order?
Well, I think I'll probably think of playing Anuj Rawat at number 4, to be honest. I'll probably, make a change there. Rajat Patidar hasn't looked apart yet. And this is a very critical situation where the tournament is heading. And you need Anuj Rawat has been batting out of his position again, even though he did well at number 6 and 7. So I feel, I'll probably pick a left-hander at number 4, and then Maxi, depending what the situation is. And then Mahipal Lomror as well. I feel he's not been given a very consistent run as well. So that's something they need to stick with and stick it for consistent basis.
Are we approaching a time when Will Jacks comes into the conversation and RCB start considering whether they try him?
Yeah, maybe not just yet. I think they probably will give this group of overseas batsmen another game or so, but he's got to come into the conversation, right? He strikes it close to 160, averages almost 30 in his T20 career, and when the measure of a modern day batsman is kind of, you add those 2 numbers together, and if you're anywhere close to being above 180, which he is, add those together, he's at 190, you're a very, very good T20 player. So they've got an incredible asset on the bench. How he fits into their side is probably the question. He's an out-and-out opening batsman. So you probably have to look at moving Faf to maybe number 3 or Virat to number 3. I think Virat has been in very good form. I think he's the one who has to stay at opening. And Will Jacks would have to go into that slot. And with Faf captaining, I think that's where it's a decision between Maxwell and Cam Green. And the way Maxwell bowled the other night, I think he's going to contribute a bit more with the ball than Cam Green at the minute. So that'll be a tough decision when they get to that point. But I think you've got to trust that Faf, Cam and Maxwell are going to come right in this game. But this is going to be a challenge. RR's bowling lineup is probably arguably the best in the competition, the most well-rounded, and they're in fine form, particularly coming off their bowling performance against Mumbai.
Yeah, 2 left-armers to contend with for Virat Kohli at the top of the order. It's only putting additional pressure, the lack of runs from those overseas 3, and he returns to a venue which is his least favoured in this format, and with a possible matchup against Sandeep Sharma if he plays, who has dismissed Kohli more often than any other bowler in the IPL. Rajasthan really didn't miss Sandeep Sharma because of how effective Bolt and Berger were. Just focusing on those 2 left-arm seamers, it's rare to see this in the power play. You get 4, if not 6 overs at times of high-quality left-arm seam. What is it about Bolt and Berger that's working so well?
Well, they're completely different. They are like polar opposite in terms of what you're going to get from a left-armer. Bolty's a genuine swing bowler. He bowls it up there, gets the ball to move in the air, and Berger's just got that extra 10, 15k of pace. So you're sitting back, and he still possesses the ability to get the ball to shape back in, but he's aggressive. And when you've got a skilled swing bowler at one end, and you've got an aggressive left armer as well, it's a really potent combination that RR have got. And then you throw into the mix, you've got Avesh there as well, and you've got Chahal and Ashwin. That's arguably the best combination you could have in the whole IPL tournament this year.
It's the most complete bowling attack we've seen so far because you get Bolton, Berger in the power play, Ashwin, Chahal through the middle, and both Avesh and Sandeep in particular at the death have been quite good.
Yeah, I mean both complete as well as performing unit. They've complemented each other really well. The spin attack, especially in the middle overs, kind of squeezes the opposition, and the left arm seamers have they've got so much experience. Avesh has done really well. Nandre Berger, we've talked about that extra pace and the kind of deliveries he's put in the tournament so far is really exciting. So yeah, their batting as well as their bowling is clicking, so they're going in the right direction.
Having spoken of both the facets, do we expect RCB will be able to turn a corner?
Well, the positive thing for them is that they've moved away from their home ground in Bengaluru. It's a ground where a lot of teams turn up and expect to be able to bat well, and that's pressure in itself when you have teams arrive knowing that they can score runs there. This will be a little bit more difficult for their batting side to get in, but it's probably going to be a little bit more focused in terms of the way they go about scoring their runs. And from their bowling point of view, I think it's going to be a little bit easier to defend up there in Jaipur as well. So it's going to kind of balance it out a little bit more for their side. And for them, any RCB fan, you'll be hoping that they get up over this one. But geez, what a tough opposition.
Your thoughts?
I think they need to find a way to play Karan Sharma also because it's a big ground. They rely on the finger spinners. Mayank Dagar, he hasn't has done so well so far. Maxi has done okay, but they need to find a way to get Karan Sharma. He can bat a bit as well at number 8. He's not a mug with the bat, and obviously the batting needs to fire. But somewhere they need to fill in that leg spinner, and hopefully things go right for them.
What will give their fans some hope is that RCB have been a bit of a bogey team for Rajasthan Royals in recent seasons of the IPL. The corresponding fixture last season saw Rajasthan bowled out for 59 at the Savai Mansingh Stadium.
All new hot and techy Brezza, the Citybird SUV.